So then we go to Nidhogg, who he burrows and he comes out and he's screaming. He's like, Hellion! As he comes out and you just masterfully away, land, reposition your weight, and then what happens?
As I reposition my weight and he looks up and he suddenly realizes I'm not there, I say, you should keep your head down. Let me give you a hoof. And I step on his head and just plow it right back into the ground.
And it exactly happens. He gets hit, and as he's screaming, Hellion! As he goes straight back into the ground, he is now head deep in the earth, and he is currently in a form of paralyzed because he cannot move for this turn.
So I'll have my disadvantage.
He looks like Sokka when he falls into the little hole. Yeah, we can do some. So now, with that, we're to Masquerade.
So I guess I'll make a will.
Yes, a will check, and you will still be able to do stuff afterwards. What did you roll?
12.
12? Perfect. Yep, that succeeds. So you are able to break away from whatever form he's trying to ensue on you to basically choke you out.
Mm-hmm.
And you break free of that. You're now able to react, move, do everything you need to do.
Where is he? Is he right in front
He's
of me?
essentially around you. He is in a gaseous form, so he is currently not like a physical body. You know from this aspect you would need to use some kind of magic to cause more harm to him.
I'm going to take out this coin-looking thing, and I'm going to throw it at the ground, casting Magic Blast. And I'm hoping that the energy will radiate and hit the surrounding form.
Yeah, so it's a attacking item, like the
Yes.
fragmentation grenade again?
Yeah, but it's Magic Blast, the ability.
Okay, perfect.
Because I don't want the fragmentation to hurt me.
Right, so this is more focused on the area, like, are you just doing trying to do like a burst of light kind of deal? Or
Yeah, well, there's no solid form.
right, so he's just floating all around.
Yeah,
you, right? And
I'm gonna try to hit something on the ground, but also have the light emit.
So you're
Or the
gonna use the
magic
light again.
radiate and touch on something.
Perfect. Yeah, so I would say make a attack roll with your fighting. Yes, you're fighting. Or no, for you, since it's magic, use your intellect. I think is what we've got your.
21.
Okay. I'm sorry.
21.
21? Oh, beautiful. Yeah, so you do this, and you hear his audible scream as you start seeing all the smoke start forming into one person as he takes another strike from you.
That'd be funny, he reforms and he's just on the ground going,
He's not fully formed yet, so you just see him starting to come together again, and we'll go over what happens when we come back. So let's see. So now we're back at the top of the order. So we've got Golan again, who just magically got past that, and you see as he'll run ahead of you, turn around and start coming back at you. And you're still kneeling on the ground, so he's gonna come at you. He's like, I saw what you did in the training simulation. You went through the wall. That was so cool. But let me show you how it's done. And you start seeing that he kind of starts this weird, almost like glitching motion where parts of it move forward, but the other part doesn't follow until after. But it's like always trying to catch up with each other. As he comes up to you, and you see for a quick second, he grabs your goggles, and he starts shaking those in the frequency that he's moving, and just starts pushing them through you. And you feel as the goggles go through your skull, and his body just goes past you. And as he finishes moving through you, I need you to make a will check. Nasty.
17 plus 4. So, 21.
Perfect. So yeah, you take, you're gonna take one of the level 1 afflictions, which I don't have off the top of my head, so I'm trying to remember. We've got, I would probably say, I think there's one for like disoriented or something. Essentially, you're basically confused. Yes, your brain is on fire as you have this feeling of matter being able to move freely through you and not actually harm you, but the sensation of it has left a lasting mark on you.
Okay.
So you're gonna
Part 3.
exactly. So you're gonna we'll say that that's basically like taking the damage. So you'll have an extra -1, or so you have a -2 currently on rolls.
Oh. I don't know. I was keeping track of damage. I just realized that.
That's okay. I've got it tracked for you, so
Oh, right.
I'm automatically removing what you have. So don't worry. I'll let you know when it becomes a real issue.
Okay.
Which we're kind of getting close for a couple.
Is he just right behind me now?
He's now essentially, yes, basically right behind you in terms of about 30 feet, which for you is like 2 steps.
Yeah.
So he's essentially, you could get up, turn around, and you'd have enough room between you that you could like move past him without him being able to do anything.
Okay. Can my character...
He sure can, since he's up in the order.
Okay, yes. My character gets up. Does that need do I need to pick up?
No.
Okay, so he gets up, he turns around, and I want to use my... Ooh. Can I use my range attack and like chuck my baton at the back of his head?
Yeah.
Since I got pretty good range attack.
Sure. You can definitely you can try anything.
Does
But
does my baton travel at the same speed that him and I can, since I'm the one throwing it? Or is
you bring up great gravitational issues that come with that. I would let's assume that you're able to throw this object, and you would throw it more like a spear than you would like an axe. You're gonna throw it more like a dart, so you're trying to make it like spiral.
Yeah.
You're gonna football chuck this bitch, and it's gonna just spiral, and we'll say that that's how you can throw it like a dart, essentially. Okay. So you can throw it at the speeds that you guys are moving.
Okay, so anytime I interact with something weaponry, it goes at my same speed.
We will say for as long as it's a item that I would say makes sense to be able to move that quickly. Okay. So a rod, spears, things that you can throw with great speed. Yes. I would say you could easily, with the amount of speed you're actually moving at, yes, it would probably go at that same speed.
Cool.
Because of energy distribution, I'm assuming.
So I get that with a rank 1, so what would I need to roll for that?
So since you're making an attack roll, it would be your attack plus your fighting. I just have to make a dodge roll against it instead of a parry, because you're doing it out of range.
Okay, well I rolled a 19 plus the 1, and then do I add my...
You add your fighting rank.
So that's a 2 plus a 1, so that's 3 plus 19, 22.
22, so you effectively rolled a 20 with your negative. And Golan basically did a... Okay. So yeah, you chuck it, and as it hits him, you see that it does that like comical like ting,
Yeah.
as it just now spins off into the unknown.
Yeah.
And you hear a noise you've never heard that sounds just like this boar coming out, and he's like, ah, what was that? As he just kind of like is looking around now, thinking that he was attacked by something else. He wouldn't expect you to throw an item at him.
Okay.
So he's kind of just like going a little stir crazy now as he's running away.
Okay. Can I also want to run up in front of him and around him and use taunt?
I would say you can start running towards him.
Okay.
And I would say you could yell a taunt from behind, but he is already moving away as you got up and threw something.
Yeah.
So I would say the most you could do is start running.
Okay.
And because so much time has passed in this very short range of high-speed foolery,
Yeah.
he was able to start moving away from you.
Got it.
So yes, you are starting to make it, and you could yell a taunt if you wanted
Okay,
to.
because that also inflicts use deception to demoralize in combat.
Okay. So roll a that is a presence check plus your modifiers
17 plus
minus 2.
What did you say that was? Presence?
Presence.
3. So 7. Oh, it's a 20, but minus the 2, that makes it a 18.
18, and that's also with the
That's with
the
presence.
advantage and skill, whatever. Okay, cool. Perfect. So, what do you say to him?
I say, I guess you aren't so fast as you aren't as fast as you thought, huh?
He hears this and he chuckles a little bit. And he's like, "Oh, you've heard of my eagle? I guess it's because I yell it everywhere I go. I am the boar, the fastest alive." As he just keeps running.
Wait, don't you need to counter roll that? Because I used that as a.
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. So he's
It
not
didn't-
demoralized.
He's not demoralized. No.
Shit.
Very close though. Like it was literally off by like 2 points. Like the damage you took is literally affected.
No.
So I was like, you definitely can say it, but
That stutter is
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
that was.
yeah. He because of what just happened and how he pushed something through your head and he knows you can't control it. He's like, okay, you might think you're fast, but let's see how fast we can get you. Like
Okay.
he's more hopeful that he can get you as fast as he can.
Okay.
He wants you to challenge him, and
Okay.
you feel this as he runs away. You feel this like playfulness.
Can my character be like, motherfucker?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
start chasing him?
You start chasing him afterwards, like, God damn it, fuck. Perfect. So I love that. So now we go to Hellion, who Nidhogg's in the ground. He's kind of useless at this point. And you can see Ratata on this little rocky cliff thing, and you see that you saw the bullet shoot out, and now it's like landed.
Okay.
And you know that she's got to take a turn to reload that gun.
Okay.
But she can still turn around and shoot you with her other weapon.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab Nidhogg by his ankle as I
His
step
head's
off.
up. So you'd have to like grab him by his head.
Oh, I thought his head was plastering into the ground. I thought I was standing on it with my hoof.
Yes, you're standing on his head with your foot, I was thinking.
Uh-huh.
Because he's coming up like this, and then you kind of brought him right back down to the ground.
Right, what I imagined is he came up and then my hoof hit him and he went like face first into the dirt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Then yeah, that's fine. So yeah, he's pretty much now he's feet up then. So you grab him by his ankle.
I grab by his ankle and as I step off of his head, I am going to use my super strength to kind of lift him up and I'm going to say, I don't appreciate Ratata's shots. Why don't you tell her to quit? And I'm just going to like hurl him like a boomerang at her.
I like it. Yep, make a strength roll for sure.
And what is the, you didn't put my superpower, super strength on here.
I
What
didn't.
does it add again?
It was I think it was a +5 modifier
Okay.
total. So just add that to your rank there. And then, yeah, you also, let's see, he's
Pierce
about
strength.
400-ish pounds with his armor plus.
Hold on. I want to use ultimate effort to turn that into a 20.
It's your last one of the night.
That's fine.
All right. So you effectively make it a 20. So
I rolled a 1. So, yeah.
So you crit fail, and then luckily, that's why I like the hero points. It takes moments that you kind of want to have, and it makes it better. It makes
great.
it work 2A points that the GM will allow. But yeah, so you throw Nidhogg, and he's kind of like, oh, what did... Oh! As he's now is flying, and he's kind of like just going sideways, and he's just... As you see, as it's starting to like go towards Ratata, and then she hears the...
What the hell?
She hears all that coming, she's like, ah, shit, and she now does another backflip to get out of the way, interrupting her reload, so she has to take an additional action to reload that weapon on her back.
And then, before I end my turn, I'm going to... Where's his hammer?
It is, I would say, probably 45 feet to the west from you.
And I threw him...
You threw him more towards the south.
Right.
So you have him kind of going, like, diagonal away from where his hammer would be.
How?
Even though it doesn't hit her, I notice that I'm like, yeah, I stopped her, I messed with her plans, and I look and I see the hammer, and I get this evil little smirk on my face, and I start skipping towards it.
Yeah, I would say you can make, like, you start making a few steps towards it.
Yeah.
You're not making any great strides after all this. You spend most of your time just chucking him, so you're going to take a quick second, like, all right.
That's fine, yeah.
Find yourself, and you will start making your way towards it your next turn.
How does it feel to beat the one person you've been rivaling only in simulation?
Well, I just used up my,
It felt pretty
used up
good
all my
because he
points.
had to
It felt
use
really
his good
good.
points for it.
now whatever happens now, but if I get his hammer, I think I can piss him off.
Yeah, so, oh man, I would say that's definitely...
Does his hammer come back to him like a Mjolnir?
You'll find out.
Oh, good.
All right. So then we go to Gotcha.
Gotcha.
So Gotcha comes in and starts running towards Masquerade and sees that, like, you know, Noltmare is starting to form again, and she's like, holy shit, how'd you do that? Magic. I knew I'd pick somebody good for this. Yes. And she's like behind you, kind of like geeking out, like
You summon
fully
Mr. Bean,
happy.
He goes, magic.
Love the references.
Of course, in this world, he's probably Mr. Legume.
Probably. Something along those lines. But yeah, you just basically that's the whole turn for Gotcha. She's readying up, but she's just behind you, kind of dancing, like like geeking out that like it feels like her team, like the one person she's really happy to be on the team is like doing so well, like figuring out shit for themselves, you know.
Didn't you see me throw hog?
No, she did not. She just assumes you're doing badass shit, but
I imagine this is all happening.
she's like, I don't need to worry about that asshole.
I think I imagine it's all happening at the same time. So like the moment
Yes.
she's like, yes, I made a good choice. She hears, what the hell?
Exactly. Yes, in the background it's just like, and he's like, yeah. There's two different reactions just going on.
No one
That's the
knows
beauty
what's
of
going on.
how wide this area is. There's so many different emotions.
No one knows what's going on with me right
No,
now.
no,
Exactly.
She's like, I don't know what's going on with them, but hopefully I'm free 3 for 3.
Right? It's like, yeah, I didn't choose him, so whatever. But yeah, so now with that, actually, ooh, I forgot, I can heal myself and others.
Oh wait, hold on.
So yeah, I'm actually going to use I'm going to heal myself after, like, while I'm so happy I start, like, glowing this green energy as, like, you start seeing I remove a damage and I start, like, marks are starting to remove away from me.
It's like that meme where the calculations just start happening. when
Yeah,
you're green.
exactly. Exactly. Weird symbols just start appearing.
Hell
I know he
So, next we've got Ratata, who is going to, out of this backflip, turn towards Hellion and sees Hellion start making his way towards the hammer, and she's like, "Oh fuck, this isn't gonna be good." And, like you see it, she's like scurries up, she's like, "Ah fuck," and she's just like running, all four like hands just running towards you, and you see that the bullet or the gun on her back is reloading, but at this point she's just getting closer to you to ready an attack. So the moment you get to it, you might feel a sting.
Ouch. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see what the dice say. But yeah, so with that, we then go to Notmare. So as he comes back, you just hear him go, "Oh my fucking eyes!" As he's now currently just blinded because of all the light that you've been doing to him. He definitely prefers the dark, so he's not happy in this situation. But yeah, he just takes a moment as he's taking some damage from that.
I gave you shit.
And as he does this, you see, he's like, "Ah!" And then everything turns black. And within the realm that you are, you can hear Gotcha behind you still squealing a little bit because it hasn't registered in her head that, oh shit, it just turned night. As the area around you is now black. It's completely dark.
Since I'm completely, like, pretty much running this almost track.
No, you're not.
I can't see this.
You're not. You are now coming back, and I would say you are about 35 feet away from the entrance that you came in from.
So I could see this.
You start seeing this very dark plume cloud of just black energy, just in a very.
It goes very slow for me, but I see.
Yes, you see it start. You see it from him, just form out from his body as it he becomes one with the darkness, and the darkness is him, as you essentially see, and it is just enclouding this area. You're not sure how big it is, but it is. You know it's big enough to see from where you're at, so it's at least 15 feet high.
Okay.
From your advantage.
So. Okay.
And you are trying to catch up with Golan, who is still running that way. After feeling like he got hit by some outside force because he's not very smart. He assumes somebody else is attacking him. He's like, "Ah!" As he's like running, like he's zigzag, pattering back and forth as his like arms are wailing in the air.
There's a fifth one.
So wait, I guess that puts us at Nidhogg, who just crashed into the side of a rock cliff. He's not having a good day so far. You know, he felt pretty badass at the beginning of it, getting Hellion to go inside, not making any movement when he threatened to punch the bomb in his chest. He felt pretty cool, and now he's being tossed by that same demon that he's had so many run-ins with. He had his face pushed back into the dirt. Eat the dirt, eat it, and then he went for a fly. He flew and he doesn't fly. He's a ground man.
He hates heights.
He does. That would probably be a fear of his, because he's essentially an earth elemental, I guess.
It's now canon. He hates heights.
He hates heights. Yep. So yeah, he gets up and he's staggering. And he's like, "Ugh. That fucking demon," as he just looks at where you're at. He makes a giant jump towards you as well. He lands, I would say, probably within 35 feet of where you are, and he just stares at you and he's like, "Don't you dare touch my hammer."
I look back at him and I go, for the audience at home, Hellion's pointing at his ears and going, "I can't hear you. I think you got some dirt in your mouth. I don't."
And you just see as his eyes, like, you see like flames in his eyes as he's really starting to get fucking pissed off.
And I give a genuine smile because it's like, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
For the first time.
And that's his turn. Then we go to
So he is the darkness. that wasn't intentional, but he's
Attack
not
the darkness! Attack the darkness!
He's not a physical form right now.
make a intelligence check plus a 5 for being magically adept.
So that's 19.
Perfect. Yes, you definitely, you know that this is a more magical type of darkness.
This isn't normal darkness. This is advanced magical darkness.
Well, you know that he is the darkness, but the darkness does have form at its edges. Is what you gather. So you are more like it feels like you are being trapped inside of him, like his stomach or something.
Mm-hmm.
You would be inside of his body that is now this eternal darkness. And it's just you and Gotcha, as far as you can see, and you're the only two that you kind of recognize at this moment.
Well, I will take another fragmentation grenade and throw it in the air, and I'll say my incantation and have it explode to not hit me, but the ghosts will start to spread out and try to emit light again.
Sure. Yep, let's roll a attack.
What's fighting? 13.
Perfect. So you see as you throw up this disc,
Mm-hmm.
and you say your incantation, it starts to crackle, crackle, crackle. You see as a claw comes out and just hits it out and removes it from the cloud sphere that it's in.
No.
And you hear it explode just moments out. You see a glimmer of light come through,
Mm-hmm.
but it disappears quickly.
Well, I'm gonna take my flashlight
Okay.
and turn it on. Maybe it'll do something, and I'm going to run to try to get out.
Okay, so, alright, so Gotcha just watches the masquerade throw something. Ching. Oh, fuck. Flashlight's on, and you're running, and Gotcha's like, oh. Okay, as you now fade into the darkness, and Gotcha can no longer see you as you run away.
Well, I'm assuming I don't know how big it is.
You don't.
So
you just
yeah,
run into
so I think I
one
would
direction.
run, hoping that it ends.
Yeah, make a...
relatively soon.
I didn't know that darkness too.
Actually, if you don't mind, I will roll you a directional roll to see which way you end up running.
Okay.
All right, so you so you start heading east towards the main wall again. And you start and you run and you run and you run, and as soon as you leave this cloud,
Mm-hmm.
you see essentially a wall 20 feet away from you as you reach the edge of the enclosure.
Mm-hmm.
And you just look at it and you're like, I'm out of the darkness, and you turn around, and that what you see is a 20-foot tall plume of darkness that kind of clouds around into about a 20-foot radius.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Gotcha can't see shit.
Gotcha
She can't
can.
teleport. She's fucked.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we won't have that leader anymore.
Well, I guess that's.
You're
I mean,
my
fuck you,
favorite.
but-
Run away!
Gotcha just in there like, oh shit.
I think I backed the wrong
Uh,
person.
It's like, fuck, I should have been with Hellion. At least he would leave me on purpose. And not because he's a bitch.
I know what to expect from him.
I would expect that from Hellion. God. Them science nerds.
Wait. What's your family's name again?
Last name?
Yeah.
Elder.
I was like, those fucking elders.
I love it. All right.
Every single one of them.
So we're back to the top with Gullen, as he's still freaking out. He fell under some kind of a trance or something, because he's just running like he's being attacked by two people. He didn't look back or anything, but he's just assuming that you're chasing him and somebody else is throwing shit at him. So you just see him just zigzagging back and forth, back and forth.
Serpentine!
And you guys
Serpentine!
now, I would say, you would be passing this black fog.
Okay.
He is I would say he's about to pass it.
He's about to go into it.
Well,
or in. Or
Near
out.
it. He's gonna go near it because it bows, and the fog is still like 20 feet away, almost 30 feet away from the actual wall. So you could easily walk by it, and it would feel like it's just a cloudy day above you.
Yeah.
So he's basically running past this, and
Okay.
that's when he decides to stop and turn around and look at what he finally decides to look at what's coming after him. He turns around and he's like, "Ah! Oh, it's just you! Oh, thank goodness!" And he readies for you to come and attack him.
Okay. My character. I'm assuming he played football at this point because of how well he spiraled that.
I mean, it sure seems like it with that.
Football? What is this ball of foot you speak of?
We call it toss ball.
It's called toss ball.
Toss square.
My
It's actually a
character-
box.
I want my character to just straight up tackle him. I want him to just full on run up, push him as hard as he can.
Make a strength check. Well, I guess let's see if you hit with your attack.
Actually, wait.
Do you have a grappling feature?
Yes.
So it would be that. It would be essentially that modifier added.
But I would also like to spend an effort point to remove both of my effort points to remove my condition. Because I have the leadership.
You can remove conditions from you or
from
somebody
allies and myself. I would assume I could remove
Okay.
it from myself.
else. Yeah. And it's at 2.
I'm using both because it only costs 1 to remove 1, but I'm fixing both.
So, how about I break a little bit of the fog and say, you would feel that you are about to heal one of your damages,
Okay.
and that you feel you are starting to feel a little bit reinvigorated as you're now just running after him.
Okay.
So you would know in about one.
So I can only.
I would
do
say
this
in one more. You can do both. I'm
Okay.
just gonna let you know that you were gonna make a luck roll to see if you could heal.
Okay.
Anything over a 10 is a success.
Oh, can I do that before I do this then?
That would be next turn for
Oh.
your healing.
All right. Then just me. Just
So that's
heal
why if you
myself.
want to guarantee you remove both, I will let you use both your efforts.
Okay. Let me just do one for now.
Okay. So yeah, you take off, you feeling this reinvigoration, you start just and you start building up your speed again as you're about to tackle
Okay.
and try to bring him to the actual ground
Okay.
if you do this.
So that is a 5, and then plus the fighting, which is a 2.
And since you're using an effort point, effectively make it a 10 roll. So if you rolled under 10, make it a 10
All right, so
and
it's
add
a
your
10,
modifiers.
10 plus a 2, and then that would be improved grab because I'm grabbing. him.
Right, you're attempting to fully grab him.
So that has no extra thing, but works. No vulnerability while grabbing.
Right, so when you grab him, you aren't like you're not vulnerable, which means you would take
Or
you
what-
would be able to be attacked easier.
Wait, would a trip? His attack, would that be like a trip or a grab?
I would say a tackle is the beginning of a tackle. I would rule as a grab.
Okay.
Your attempt to then make him fall to the ground would be your trip.
Got it.
Is
So-
how I would see it. So
Okay.
it'd be like judo.
So I got
You
the-
grab and then you pull him.
Got it. So I got a 12 on the grab.
You got a 12 on the grab.
Yeah, to like make sure I hit him. And then do I need to roll for the improved trip to make sure he falls?
Yes. Roll for the improved trip to see if he can resist it.
16, and then there's no penalty for trip action.
Perfect.
And do I add anything to that 16? Dex?
I would say your strength because it's
Strength?
your. I would say
16.
grappling base is going to be more strength. with
Okay,
it.
so 19.
Okay. Perfect. So yeah, you grab you run and you start sprinting at him and you pretty much go shoulder in, and as soon as you feel you hit him, you grab him, and then you just kind of force a fall.
Yeah.
because you're on the sidewall. So you basically jump off and you start twisting him to be the ground that you will land on.
Yeah.
So you guys are descending. And as this happens, he's going to just default because of fall damage and being forced to take it. It's going to be taking damage.
Oh.
So you guys hit the ground with a giant thud and a plume of dust comes up.
Sonic boom happens because we finally stopped.
Sure, I like that.
Should we all roll an awareness to see if he catches us off guard?
Ooh. Is it Sonic
A
boom?
sonic boom would be able to be heard from a couple miles, right?
Right.
Oh yeah. You
So yeah,
have-
everyone makes
he's
a
basically right there.
right. I know that Gotcha and pretty much everybody in that area would need to. You don't need to because
Yeah.
you caused
Would
it.
that be a fortitude?
That would be just to hear it would be a awareness.
Well, we'll all hear it. I'm just saying, like, so
Oh,
it doesn't
to-
like throw us off kilter.
Oh, it wouldn't catch them because they're all the way on
No,
the other
so
side.
yeah, you would hear it, but you wouldn't need to worry about
Okay.
it causing any
Just
damage.
everyone close.
We would probably have to, based on just for flavor. I like it. The sonic boom at that close range would cause some hearing problems.
So fortitude.
No,
Or the
we'll do
awareness.
awareness to see if you can hear it and be able to like kind of duck and like try and help yourself from not hearing it.
Okay. So 13.
Okay, yeah, I say you wouldn't take damage, but your ears are definitely ringing, so you might just not hear for the next, I would say, 2 turns. Everything would be like,
us now. Sorry.
yeah, you're like Archer and you're as you're trying to like hear again.
You got what most military guys have.
Okay, so that was high speed. Now we're to Hellion. As you're got the most evil grin that you've ever had looking at that hammer, and you're like,
How close are the Rattata and Nidhogg to me?
Nidhogg is about 35 feet. Rattata is about 40 feet away. More towards like she wants to make sure she can clearly see the hammer and not necessarily you, because she's aiming for when you grab the hammer, and you gather a sense that she's being this tactical.
Right.
You can use it if you want to based on your character, but I would say you would, from fighting them so often, you know their kind of habits. You've seen it too many times to know that they're very tactical, and she's preparing to know that she thinks you're going for it.
Right. I'm going to play with that. I have a plan. This is going to kind of be a held action. Because what I want to do is I'm letting Hog catch up to me. I'm like, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. And I'm going to reach for it. And the moment, he's about to stop me, I'm going to grab up some dirt from the ground and slam it right into his face. And if that catches them off guard, then I'm going to punch him back towards Rattata again.
Okay. I like it. So you're walking up and you're pretending to go grab the.
Yeah,
you're pretending
I'm
to
the
grab
big
the
dumb
hammer,
guy. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get your hammer.
but you're actually reaching for dirt.
Uh-huh.
You dirty man. Okay, yeah. So you this happens. You just walk on over and you prepare to grab dirt.
You put some dirt in his eye.
You're about to make him a true dirt face.
Should I do a deception?
Yes, make a deception roll.
That's a 20.
Nat 20.
No, not nat 20. 18
Oh.
plus 2.
Damn. So
We would have
close.
had our second one.
I know, right?
I'm just glad I didn't get a 1.
To be fair, we've had our first complete utter failure and our first total success.
It didn't happen. I used a point to wake
Oh
up.
yeah, you're right. It had never happened.
So yeah, you see that Nidhogg looks at you, and the closer and closer you get, you feel him just get angrier and angrier, and you know that he's super mad at you right now, and that's all you know.
And I think that Rattata can't really see because we're in the Nidhogg's getting in the way.
Yeah, she's too far away to notice something like that, and her focus is not on that.
Right.
So I would say she effectively does not register that. Perfect. So that is Hellion. Now we go to Gotcha.
Hello.
Yeah, I mean, nobody sees it. So you just you hear Gotcha just from inside, like screaming, like, "Where'd you go?" As
Do I hear this from the outside of this storm?
I think
Yes.
you were just in a solid boom in the ground.
yeah, you're close enough to it that you could in theory hear it if you make like if you were to actively be listening. Yeah, you don't hear shit then. But yeah, you just start hearing screaming coming from inside of like Gotcha just being like, okay, I'm gonna just keep walking around then. As she just walks into she doesn't clearly pop out where you do. So as far as you know, she's not there. And you don't hear the screaming anymore. Or the shouting.
Great.
The darkness got her.
The darkness. Batman. So then we go to... Sorry.
I can't tell if this guy's a knockoff of Batman or what.
No. He's not supposed to.
Justice for shadows.
For shadows.
I feel like it's a mix of like a
I have to go to the shadow cave.
Where's the drugs going? So it's now Radita's turn. And she fully loaded. She pulls out her assault rifle because she's barely close enough. She can squeak out this range where she's at. And she's gonna start taking basically pot shots at you, and she's gonna take 2 shots.
Okay.
Wait, can't
So
she
you
hit Gullion?
Hmm?
She can also hit Gullion at that.
No. Basically, there's kind of in the middle
Yeah.
realm where they're all kind of grouped up, like kind of near the middle area.
Yeah.
You guys are a little farther off, almost 100 feet away from
No,
them.
Radita can hit.
She's on.
Or not Gullion, Hammer guy.
Yes,
can
she can see. She can see.
Well, wouldn't that mean she
Nidhogg.
could also shoot him by accident?
She could, but she's in a line of sight where she can see both of them, like side by side, more
okay.
option. And then like the hammer is kind of in front of where
I was-
Hellion is at. It's kind of how she's oriented herself. So even if she misses the shot, it's going to hit the hammer, and she's trying to kind of knock it out of his hands so that he can't actually grab it.
Okay.
So
Okay, I was like trying
Yeah.
to picture it in my head. I was like, no. But
yeah. So yeah, that's exactly where she's lined up, and she's taking these pot shots. So I need 2 dodge rolls from you, Hellion.
I'm gonna use my toughness instead. Can I do that? I'm not really a doctor.
Toughness is more for your damage. So
Okay.
the dodge is because you're taking.
Fortitude. That's the.
You want.
Yeah, because I want to make it look like I'm going for the.
So you're
hammer.
just taking. You're just gonna
I'll
take
just
the
take the
shots that they
shots,
hit
yeah.
and see if they do damage.
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, then roll with your fortitude. I'll take that.
11.
Okay.
So the first one's 11. Second one is 18.
Perfect. So the first shot hits you, and you see as it's the taser shot, it shocks you a little bit, and you take 1 damage from that shot, which effectively that's your first negative. And then the second shot hits the hammer and tips it sort of away from you.
Okay.
So it's starting to like fall. But
Oh,
because of the mass, it's pretty slow to move because of how hard he put it into the dirt.
Right.
And the shot being kind of off, it's kind of more just like it like tipped over and then it's kind of like stood there for a little bit, looking like it could continue to fall another.
Is it like top of the hammer, kind of like how when Thor's hammer falls, it always falls?
Yes. Think of it, it's currently in that position. He put it in that position as he staked it into the ground. But yes, it was effectively standing straight up with the handle going up.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I make a big show of it because the first one did hurt. I was like, ah!
Right.
And then I go, nothing will stop me. Just kind of
Right.
goading.
Right, you're trying to go Nidhogg.
Nidhogg more.
Perfect. So that is her turn. Which, speaking of, I think we are now at Nightmare. We're gonna have to let them out in a little bit. But yeah, so Nightmare's in there, and he, you hear, these you hear the sing of blades coming out finally, and you hear slashes, but you don't hear anything else. As you are just standing outside of this black fog.
Thank God I'm not in there.
Yeah, it's a hellstorm. Okay. So we go to Nidhogg, who he is furious. And as he's walking towards you, you hear the ground starting to shake and tremor as he takes every step, and it keeps getting faster and faster and faster. He is going to try and tackle you.
Okay, fine. I've got the attack ready.
Right. So as he's running towards you, I would say he comes within, 10 feet, and that's when you would probably start dirt grab, and then you're going to try and shove it in his face.
Yeah.
And did you use an effort for this? I can't remember. No.
I don't think I had any more effort.
Okay. I couldn't remember. I know it was a held action. That's why I'm checking.
But I rolled for it, and it was I believe it was a 21, right?
Yes.
This one I use digital dice.
So he rolled a 20, a natural 20. So I will say that you still do the attack, but it will not cause the secondary effect. So you will still effectively punch him in the face with the dirt, but it's just gonna you're gonna do it, and then it's just gonna crumble under, and he's just gonna look at you, and you're gonna see a figure in his eyes, one that you've recognized before, one that haunts you. And I need you to make a roll check real quick.
Well, my favorite step. Oh, it was caught. Dude, he got hit by that. That's
Sure, blame the table.
I do. I blame this table, but it's a 6.
Okay. So, with the 6, yeah, you know this is Mr. Smith. You feel his presence within Nidhogg, and you see it in Nidhogg's eyes. In fact, you don't even believe Nidhogg knows that he's currently possessed, is what you believe.
Oh.
So.
That's all I gotta say, right? 2 words.
So yeah, he goes to you guys. He tackles you a little bit, but you guys don't move because of your equal strengths almost. And you just see that in his eyes. Awesome. So, are you guys okay if we take a quick break so I can let the dogs out and we can try and finish this?
Actually, I was gonna recommend because we normally cut off at 9 o'clock, don't we?
Closer to 10.
Closer to 10, but this might be a really good moment to kind of, until next time, adventurers.
We could.
All in favor of ending it tonight? Oh, I'm not really.
All
in favor,
opposed?
but- All
Why'd
opposed?
you raise your hand?
Because I'm disorienting it. All
I'm opposed.
I'm opposed.
Opposed? I don't think my vote should matter.
Well, chill, you're the DM. I'm only.
I mean,
I'm just saying because we just got work in the morning, you know.
I don't mind.
And I gotta drive home.
Right. If you want to, we can focus and finish up this fight sequence between this group over here, since we're all together now, and we can continue your stuff after, and we can finish this fight and then just kind of role play your stuff if you want.
I would just like to say this this twist you pulled, I'm so sorry, listeners, if you're out there. I would just like to say with this twist, let's do the rest of the fight, but then when we come back, it's kind of like the end of the comic where something's wrong, you know?
Yeah, I think that could be easily done right now, especially with the little twist I threw there.
Okay, then I'll be patient with it.
Okay, yeah, I think we can finish yours up pretty quick if you want to, and just make it more theatric at this point.
Right.
Because at this point, like I said, Nidhogg looks possessed. So he's no longer running on the functions that he is. And in fact, roll a luck check.
Yeah, I would even
It's just straight roll unless you have a lucky feature.
That's a 10.
All right, that's lucky enough. Perfect.
I would say I would just say when we talked about Mr. Smith, he has Mr. Smith's eyes. He doesn't
Yeah.
see the figure, but his eyes like are normally kind of like he has that visor on. But the
Yeah.
visor is like come off, and I see like that's
Right.
not
His
eyes.
visor came off when you knocked him in the ground, and you just see his eyes, which are normally going to be, if I remember right, blue, or is he green? Blue. He has blue eyes. And he normally has blue eyes, but now you see that they're this, like, rosebud hue almost. And with that, we're going to take a quick little break, let the puppers go and do their thing. We'll put on some quick jams, and hopefully we'll see you in a minute. I'm trying to start, and no one could hear. So yeah, we're live now. We're back and up and running. So yeah, we are back at Nidhogg just showing up to be looking possessed, and we are at Masquerade.
So I'm going to take my flashlight. Well, first I'm going to go hide.
Okay, you'll have to make a stealth check.
Superheroes, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a natural 1, so I'm not hiding.
Well, especially not with the perception of 20 for.
Ooh, is he coming out?
So you go behind a bush and you think you're completely covered, and then what you don't realize is that it's actually dead. There's no foliage or anything. You're just ducked out behind, and you're like, okay, let me gather what's going on. And he sees you clearly.
I'm gonna take my flashlight, and try to infuse it with magic with my artificer advantage. Would that take more than 1 turn, or can I do that in 1 turn? If I have if I can carve a sigil into it.
I would say that would take a turn.
Okay.
To do a quick with a multi-tool that would have like a kind of a knifey type thing that you could scroll stuff into. Yeah.
Do I want to do that, or do I just want to throw a bomb? I think I'll just throw another grenade at the darkness.
Okay. You're gonna throw another fragment grenade into the wild. So I guess it's not more of a hit dice, it's more of a where in the sphere you throw it, because gotcha could potentially be in there.
The moment you throw it, you're like, oh no, my boss is in there.
Alright, so yeah, I guess we'll roll a hit die. But
I'll
we'll
try
also
to throw
roll
it high.
We'll roll a luck roll, and based on how high it is how close it is to possibly anybody inside.
So that's 13.
A 13 for your
Attack.
hit.
Yeah.
Alright, and then roll a luck roll.
That's an 11.
11. Perfect. I think that is enough. From inside, you hear, and do you activate it, or does it more of like it gets in there after a time, boom?
I have to activate it.
Okay, so you chuck it in there, and it's in the darkness. You don't know if it's near anybody or anything, and you just, whenever you feel that moment, you just let it go, and you see like earth and things fly from the sky, and you hear it loud from a male voice.
Not again!
Did it sound like him, though? Because I heard him go my eyes.
Yes.
Okay.
It sounds like that. He's like, ah! As you kind of start seeing the smoke disappearing and going towards a central point again, like it did with the smoke.
Okay. Well, I think I'm hidden, so I'm gonna stay there.
Yes, you definitely think you're in. And with that would be perfect. Now we're at the top of the rotation with Golan, who is currently at the bottom of a not so fun sandwich with earth and high speed on top.
Kinky. Sorry.
Only if you want it to be.
No.
How barred do you want to be right now? Gullet, your face. It's like these rocks on top of us.
I think you broke him.
So Golan, he looks up at you. His eyes twinkle. And he looks at you, he's like, get the fuck off it. He tries to push you, like, literally throw you off of him. And I need you to make a
Go.
strength.
Notice.
Has your face always been this symmetrical?
We've been moving so fast, I forgot that some slow mo.
Thank you, Evantress, for that quote.
Oh.
But yeah, so roll a strength check for me, please.
Fuck.
Not good?
4 plus a 3.
Oh, I love
It's a
it.
7.
I love it.
I go
Yeah, he
flying.
literally picks you up and he throws you towards the wall, and you hit the wall. Especially with the -2 that you have to yourself, or the -1. And at this point, I want you to roll a luck roll for your healing.
Please.
Oh.
To the gods.
I almost forgot about the healing.
15!
You remove
Yes.
1 point of damage as well, as you are back.
I'm back, baby.
But you hit the wall,
Shit.
and you take 1 damage.
I feel myself finally reach my full power. I'm like, yeah!
Yeah,
Ah!
you're through the.
I've awakened. I've become my true band.
As you're in the air, you're like, oh great, my finger's not broken. As you hit the side.
Oh yeah, I
of the wall.
forgot my finger was broken.
And then yeah, that's the end of his turn as he starts getting up and like dusting himself off of all the rocks.
I'm just in the wall.
You're foe cratered into the wall. Perfect then. So then we go to high speed.
I pull myself out of this new hole in the wall.
This U-shaped hole.
And I immediately just don't run at him, but run actually towards like where Hellion was and try to boomerang back towards Night.
Yeah, that guy.
Nightlight. Sorry, Dark Night.
I mean at this
Night.
point,
Night Dark.
dark night,
The darkness.
dark. Nightmare. Okay, so you start running towards the fog
Yeah.
after you get up.
Because I figured if I can't lose him, I can use him. Because if I remember, sorry, if I can't beat him because we're so similar,
I'll join him. Wait.
I'll lose him. Because I can clearly not see through that. I'm assuming he can't either. So I
No.
just run into the darkness because I know that there's a wall on the other side, and if I hit it, I can go up.
From where you are, there's open space. You are near the wall.
Yeah.
Because you guys fell to the wall and then kind of now fading away from you because he's losing his form in that.
Oh.
The smoke is still there, but it's starting to disappear. So you run through. You can run through the smoke, but behind it will be going towards like Hellion-ish.
That's
you would
fine.
be going towards in that direction.
That's good.
Cool.
That's actually exactly where I want to be.
Awesome. So yeah, you bolt and you run through. You get past this thing, this 20-foot cloud, and on the other 40 feet past it, you start seeing. You can start making out a glimpse of what's happening with Hellion as you
Okay.
are now kind of facing that direction. You didn't run into Gotcha. Nope, you didn't run into Gotcha.
She became like Robin. from
We're
the
not
West.
really sure where she's at right now. She disappeared into
She's
the
back
darkness.
in my world.
She might be, for all we know. But yeah, so you just book it out, and you can now start seeing the tussle that is between Hellion and Nidhoggs with Rattata. So that takes us to Hellion.
Do I see him coming out of the darkness out of the corner of my eye?
Make an awareness check.
do I add the skill roll to the number or the ranks? Or the skills?
On the skills, it is the skill roll.
Okay,
Because that's everything added together.
that's a 24.
24?
Not that.
Beautiful, beautiful. So 24. Yeah, you would see. I would say you wouldn't see his body, but you see the clouds of dust as it goes past, like behind him as he's running so quickly. You see the dust plumes that
Okay.
he's producing.
I am going to over the how's the comlink work again? Do we have to like hit it? Do we have to?
Essentially, if you. So I would say you could set it up to be voice activated. So you could say a catchphrase or a phrase, and that would activate it, and then everything you said afterwards would work up to a certain amount of time. You can't give a whole exposition in one turn, but you can definitely say at least a good sentence when you're not under distress if you use it as your whole turn.
Okay.
Is how I would say it. Otherwise, it's more like quick shout-outs.
Yeah.
If you want to make it more of a reaction or something you do on the fly, is just to try and pass off some quick info and still attack it.
Well, then over the intercom, I'm going to say, high speed. Do you still want to help me? And I'm going to bear hug. Nidhogg.
Am I able to jump into this since this is happening?
I would say your next turn you could.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And I'm going to do a full on super strength just to hold
just to
him.
hold him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna look at Rattata, and even though I'm talking to high speed, I'm gonna try and catch Rattata's eye.
Yeah.
Like if she's preparing to shoot at me, I'm going to try and move. Like I'm just trying to get him to like. I'm not
Right,
walking around
using him
anymore.
like
Something's wrong.
a human shield. You
Yeah.
want to direct where he, so that you can't take a shot.
Right,
Like she can't take a shot without potentially hitting
Yeah.
Nidhogg. You are also a foot taller, so I would say that counts as partial coverage.
Right. Yeah.
So
He
upper-
covers all vital areas, you know,
right, other than the face.
and the bomb. And the chest.
I would say the bomb would probably be showing a little bit, just a little bit.
Just the top.
Just
of it.
exactly, like the upper rim of it, and a little bit of like the glowing glass is there, but otherwise.
I'm surprised none of the heroes who you've been fighting for Middle Ages have thought to just set that thing off.
Because I think probably Munnin has told them not to.
That's fair.
Well, and it's brand new,
Yeah.
and it's a safe measure for when if he were to escape, not to necessarily do anything.
Yeah, that's fair. They're like, if you kill him, I swear to God,
Man,
you're fired.
you're bad. You're definitely going to jail forever.
Those bombs are expensive. We make these bombs and they go into people's chests and we don't want to set them off immediately, but some heroes just want to. Just like Captain Kamala wants to turn on the bomb.
Captain Kamala is a not so friendly hero who accidentally blew up someone.
Actually, in all honesty, in that world, I think Captain Kamala is actually a pretty decent hero, but the guy talking.
He's not a big. He's one of the few people who doesn't have a power. Who's like, I don't like her.
I have the best powers.
No,
I have all the powers. I just don't want to show you.
Thank you for the follow,
Yo,
A2 Raccoon.
Yo, I know you. Hello, A2. Thank you for jumping in the stream.
Follow for more badly done, not Donald Trump impressions.
It's
Hellion
he's
on
a-
drugs.
He's
impression.
Fellion Dump.
Hellion dumpling.
I was gonna say it was a guy called the Trumpeter.
Yeah.
I toot the horn of justice.
He's a mixture of J. Jonah Jameson and Donald Trump.
Well, no, because that's rude to J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh yeah, you're right about that. Sorry.
Sorry, Mr. Jameson and your family.
You
You
should
did not mean to do that.
Yeah. Now give me his pictures of Spider-Man.
All right, so yeah, your attempt is to grab him, and what was your roll?
My roll for the hug.
Yes, for your hug.
Because I only did the awareness. So
Right.
14 plus.
I would say your strength.
Yeah, super strength.
Right,
Oh,
plus the
that's
super
that's a
strength.
25.
25. Perfect.
I think
He rolled so badly, you'd easily just grip him because he's kind of under these weird woozy effects at this point. As his brain's kind of going in and out as he's trying to fight off this mind entity. As you grab him and you easily just flip over and you now have partial cover for if Rotata was to attack you. Perfect then. With that,
I just imagine Mr. Smith looks at me through his eyes and goes, "Are you going to want to really kill me now?"
Maybe.
Kind of like, "Are you going to kill me, Harry?"
Send the treasures to the tanks.
No, that was a serious plan. Snape comes in afterwards.
Yeah, so now it's Gotcha's turn. Gotcha, you catch a...
You're gotcha.
I'm
You
Gotcha.
got
I'm Gotcha.
Gotcha?
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Nah, don't worry about it. But yeah, so Gotcha starts heading to the west and jumps out of the fog and sees that High Speed is starting to run towards Hellion and that Hellion seems to have a pretty good grasp of what's going on, literally, at this point. So she kind of looks and's like, all right, I can handle this, and turns around and looks at where, and tries to find the masquerade, and you're so stealthily stealth right now.
so hidden.
I do need you to make a roll against me to see how stealthily you stealth again.
Again, stealth, unnatural 20.
I don't know if she actually sees you. You did stealth so well. No, she did actually. She actually saw you, luckily, and she sees you, and she disappears from your sight for a second. You look around, and then she just poops next to you, like, "Hey,
That's
friend."
what that feels like.
She's like, "Wow, you got out of there really quick. I'm glad you're okay, and you keep hitting him. So I mean, keep going for it. I'm just here to kind of make sure you don't get hit." As you see, she has a claw mark across her face.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, and then you see her hand glow red. And she just like almost palms her face, and she's just like, "Oh yeah, that's the stuff." And as it pulls off, you see that there's now very minimal like scarring from what was on her face, and she's pretty much fine. A little scruffed up still, but not too bad. And that's what she does. She just kind of sits next to you and waiting to see what happens next. All right, so that brings us to Radita, who's got a sniper with a bullet, and she wants to put it through you, but you see actually make a perception check. I'm sure you would see this, but who knows? You might not see shit.
You might be blind for this moment.
You
Sun
might.
glaring.
22.
Yeah, you see as she puts one hand kind of to her ear, and you assume that she's trying to like radio it, and then you hear a little bit of like muffled sound coming from inside like Nidhogg's ear. So you're going on. She's trying to talk to him, and you see him still struggling, and then you hear under his breath, "Take it,"
Oh,
as she takes a sniper shot at you. So make a I guess this would be
A parry? Because I'm
a
using
parry since you're using a shield. That sounds about right. That sounds about right to me.
What is it?
That
That's a
looks like
15.
15? Perfect. She rolled like shit, so her aim was way off. And you see as a full round hits the armor on the back of its plate and kind of shatters as pieces of it spark away. And you hear a slight grunt.
We're using 5 ammo?
She did that time. And
Can I
then
do one reaction?
You can react.
I shout at her, "Shoot him!"
And so, well, she did, so good for you.
Well, I'm telling her to keep going.
Keep going. Yep. Perfect then.
And I will let her do a perception to see, like, because normally I'm just like, hey, you guys are fucking around and stuff like that. This is like, no, finish it! I'm freaking out.
Kill him.
You could also spend your reaction to communicate with them.
Mm-hmm.
You would have to basically think of it like a page. You would be like, you'd say the person's name,
Mm-hmm.
and you could send a direct message like that.
Okay.
So you could take your reaction to page into Ratata
Okay.
and be like, there's something up.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. I'll take my reaction. I'll page through the intercom. Like I'll pull Nidhoggs' intercom out of his ear and I'll put it in my other one.
I like it.
And I'll go, Ratata, you need to knock him out. You need to kill him. I don't care what you do. This is not Hog.
Perfect. He's not the hog you're looking for. Awesome. So it is now Notmare as he falls out of this fog and he starts to form again as a person, and you hear him say, "Ah, fuck my leg," as
My
he now
eyes,
has some
my legs.
shrapnel in his leg,
My feelings.
and he has a little limp. But he's still walking, and he sees you because you're not that hidden. And he also now sees Gotcha, who also was not that hidden.
My God, he's got great eyesight. How does he even see us?
Yes, through the very open canopy of the dead brush, you're like, how can he see us?
I'm a tree.
And he turns to you guys, and he hears what's going on the intercom, and he looks away, and he's like, growls, and essentially turns back into smoke and disappears from your vision. If you want to roll a perception check to see where it is going, if you want to see like the direction he's taking, you can.
Can I roll for something real quick?
Yeah, what do you want to do?
Does Munnin hear this? Because I'm assuming if everyone else can.
Yes.
I did say it on their intercom.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's why everyone else who was on that line, which was specifically the Guardians,
Yeah.
heard what's happening now with
So I would assume Munnin's like flying down at this point then.
Munnin. Make a perception check.
You got a 17.
You got a 17. Are you checking on Munnin, or you're just checking to see where the smoke is? Correct?
Yeah.
Perfect. You see the smoke heading towards what you know is the direction that Hellion started, like went to his fight, and you would presume that that fight's still happening in that direction. So you would go that way if you were to follow, knowing that he's not focused on you.
I got a 17 plus 4, so 21.
21, and since you're close to where
I'm
that
also-
action is,
I'm also like basically right there to intercept.
right? So you would see. I would say you wouldn't necessarily see because you're focused on getting to Hellion and possibly having to do something up close and personal.
But would I see that?
You would hear thrusters of like a suit,
Okay.
very similar to the one when you saw Munnin come down the second time after he kind of spooked you.
Yeah.
You would see him in that kind of a battle, so you would hear that kind of a sound kind of roaring behind you as it's like he's speeding towards the action. That's
Clearly not as fast as me though, but yeah.
No, not as fast as you. He can go relative. You
He's
know,
like a-
for how fast his suit can go, it's still not as fast as you or Golem. He would be the third fastest person in that room. And I'll leave it at that. So, you hear him coming, but you do not necessarily see him.
Got it.
But yeah, so you gather where he's going, and then perfect. Anybody else? That was Ratata. That was Nidhogg, or not Nidhogg. That was Notmare running towards the action. Now it's Nidhogg. He, for a glimpse or for a short moment, you look at him, and you see that half of his one eye is the normal blue that you now become accustomed to since he was fighting you without his goggles in that fight to begin with.
Right.
And you notice that the other eye is still that ruby red, and you gather that he is trying to fight off whatever is afflicting him mentally.
Okay.
And that he is, as of right now, about halfway, like half and half.
Mhm.
He's not fully. He understands what's happening, but he still can't necessarily snap out. So he's going to still struggle. So he's going to. I think it's going to basically be a strength contest to try and escape your grasp. You have a grappling feature that may make it so it would make sense that you are easier to hold him down, something like that.
Oh, actually, I can't use that one. Damn it.
You could probably use your power, your strength power.
Yeah, wait. I was gonna say use great endurance to add a +5 checks involving endurance, but I can't do that because I used up all my advantage points.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll use my super strength.
Yeah, so just basically do that.
It was an 11.
It's an 11? Well, he
11.
rolled a 1, so he critically fails.
Okay.
I
So I don't even have to add it.
You don't have to add up if you don't want to. If you want to know the full number, you can, but he failed badly. Because the one side of him who wants to fight is not, like, he's got one side who wants to fight and one side who doesn't. So he's like half limp noodle, like trying to break out of you, while the other side's like accepting that he needs to be knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
So he's literally trying to resist doing anything, while the other is resisting to get out of your grasp. And you are still able to hold on to Nidhogg. And you almost see like this tear come from the blue eye.
Oh, okay.
That is his turn. That would put us at
Do I
I love
see
He'll make
Hellion?
him sound so mysterious.
Do you see Hellion? Yes, you would be able to move close enough to see that Hellion is holding on to Nidhogg, and that Ratata is readying to reload the sniper round. And that you would still see the fog moving closer. You would also see Munnin at this point trailing behind high speed. Basically everyone so far is converging onto what's happening at Nidhogg.
So I'm assuming, so I can assume that he needs to be hurt somehow.
You are gathering that there is something going on
Mhm.
at this fight, and that it's not normal because Munnin would have basically hinted that he's not there to get involved. He's literally the judge of what happens and if you guys pass or not.
So I'll be on the calm attack to
Hellion?
Yeah.
Yes! Yes!
So I'll run and get as close as I can, and then I will throw one of the coin bomb things.
Yeah.
And do magic blast at
Nidhogg?
Yes.
Nidhogg.
While I'm holding him.
N-I-D.
Yes.
Hog. If you guys want to call him Hog, go for
I'm
it.
just gonna
I think I call him Hog, but I
You
really do
would.
want to get his name right because
Nidhogg of Justice.
So I got a 14 to attack.
A 14 to attack. He cannot actually defend himself right now, so you essentially, I would say, roll at advantage if you want to fish for a crit.
No.
Okay, so you hit,
Mhm.
guaranteed. I would say, are you? How does this power look when you throw it at it and it breaks off and does its
It
magic
kind of
burst?
looks like I'm throwing, kind of like a batarang. It's kind of what I based it off of.
Okay. Like it.
But it like hits him and then it'll explode once it.
Gotcha. So it's a hit, boom, boom, explode.
Yeah. But
So
not like enough to
Not
damage
enough.
everyone. It's just like
Right.
a one target thing.
Perfect. So yeah, he perfect, and then your damage for that would be your,
Intelligence.
I believe it's your. We're going to use your intelligence because all your magic stuff is going to be based on that. We're running those two as the same as for magic using.
22.
22. Wow, that's a failure of 2 degrees. So plus some, I think. Yeah, because he's got a lot of damage. He's got 4 ticks on him. Yeah, so you see that it hits him and it's on his back because he's facing Hellion. So his back goes, And
Also, he
leans
lost his
forward.
armor thanks to Tata.
He lost a piece of his armor, exactly. So it hits, and these magical shards just not necessarily break through his skin, but it looks like it enters him and affecting him on a deeper level than just physical pain. And it you hear like a roar as he screams out from this pain that you caused him, and he Hellion would feel this, but he kind of goes like almost limp a little bit, like he passed out, but he's comes back and is conscious and is holding still and no longer fully struggling. And that is...
What do I notice when his eyes open again?
You notice that his eyes are completely... Both eyes are blue.
Okay.
Can my character go on the con and be like, I'm closing in, everything okay?
You can after Gotcha speeds past you.
Oh yeah, because she just...
Because as soon as he heard, he used extra powers to literally, like...
Are we still
Almost.
in combat?
We're not necessarily in combat. At this point, we're kind of more ending things.
The moment I see that his eyes are clear, I let him go. I drop him.
Okay, and then...
And I back away with my hands up.
Perfect. Yeah, at
You're
this
so
point...
used to it.
At this point, combat is done, so we'll just say that Goliam will speed past you still, because like I said, he used his extra abilities to make that extra dash to go faster. So he basically almost, it looks like he teleports even to your ability to see speed. It looks like he's missing parts of his run as he goes.
He's
past you.
doing what he did to like pass through me almost.
It looks like that, yes. It's very reminiscent of that kind of a almost lich look.
Okay.
And you see as everyone pretty much at this point lands there, and you see Nidhogg on the ground, breathing, stable, but not necessarily conscious.
Can my character like grab his hand and try to take a pulse, or does he?
He's clearly breathing,
Okay.
but he is just not awake. He's basically into almost a sleep. You don't feel threatened, especially since Hellion let go. You trust that Hellion would assume that it's okay at this point.
Yeah.
So everyone converges, and does anybody say anything? Or what happens as he's on the ground and Munnin kind of still making his way down?
What happened?
Hellion is trying to find his words, and as Munnin comes forward, he looks up at him and he goes, "We need to get him somewhere, isolate him, do not let anything into his thoughts. He's been infected by Mr. Smith."
Munnin looks at you and he looks down. He's like, and he just contemplates for a minute. And he's like, "Okay, yes, we'll take him to an isolation room. We'll see what happens. I definitely felt a presence here that does not belong." And you'll see as Golan comes up to Nidhogg, and between him and everyone else there, they slowly pick him up and start escorting him out of the building.
And I do one last thing. I walk over, I pick up the hammer, but instead of gloating, I walk back over to the group and I put it in
As you
Nidhogg's hands.
pick up the hammer, your chains glow, but you
Uh,
don't feel pain.
Mhm.
It's more like it feels attuned to the hammer, and it feels almost like they're one of the same material. And you feel this power, and the power you feel is very warm.
Something
very-
starts to connect in my brain, and I suddenly realize this is how that pig-headed motherfucker has been always able to get the drop off of me. His goddamn hammer is angel tech.
Right. You may not know it's angel tech at this moment.
Right. I
But
realize
you know
it's
it's
the same thing I've heard.
you realize it's like, why? No fucking wonder. But you feel this power, and like I said, it feels warm. It feels very open and inviting, almost like a hug from a spouse or a family member.
Oh, jeez.
And-
That's been a long time.
Right. And as this feeling hits you, you also get this very strong urge for, like, justice. You get this very self-proclaimed feeling of justice.
I throw up a little in my mouth.
You definitely do not feel right, and that's why you quickly are like, you
Yeah.
quickly drop it off.
I give it to Nell. I run a regular ew, and I drop it. Ugh. 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 Ew.
Can my character just like look over at Helly like, you good?
No! No, that's the problem! I am good! That's the problem! Ugh! I pull out one of my cigars, I light it up, I don't even wait for it to start, I just start puffing it. Oh God.
You good? Are you sure? Are you okay? Like, Lucy? Sorry, Lucifer, Lucy. I'm gonna call you Lucy.
You do that and I'm going to drop kick you back to whatever world you came from.
I'm gonna go up to
Good hustle out there though.
Nightmare guy, and say, you weren't that scary. I did pretty good, didn't I?
If I could see you, I would kill you!
I'm
Why
assuming.
now, asshole?
Give me 1 minute.
We all know that it is a dark moment when the DM says, hold on a second.
Make a presence check.
Oh shit!
Oh!
Can I use the hero point and make
You
it
rolled a 4!
make it work?
You rolled a 4!
You want to use the hero point to make it effective 20?
Yeah.
So you want to succeed on whatever you're checking on?
Yes.
How about I say not this time?
No!
Because Notmare looks at you, and you
No.
feel, you see his eyes, and they're like daggers as they kind of like stab you, and you. It's almost as if he came up right to you with the claws that you saw like on him, and he slashed you. You feel that in your soul, and he at this point he turns around because he's more focused on that, and with that you gain a inspiration
Oh!
as you overcome a fear.
How do I add inspiration? Is it just a hero point?
Yeah, just add it to your hero point pool.
You got inspired.
Initiative.
Perfect. So does anybody else do anything at this point?
Can
As
I-
everyone is now trying to
Is
basically.
Golian walking away with Nidhogg?
Yes, so it is Golian. You see that Jorman has also flown in. The spellcaster of Black Flame has come in and is also helping take Nidhogg, who is their sibling. And they.
Great. I'll explain later.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you see as pretty much everyone is now just trying to assist as this giant, like, how tall was he? Like, almost 7 feet tall?
Almost.
Almost
He is
7
like-
feet tall. He's like
yes,
6'8".
3
I
feet
think if
off.
I remember, he's like 6'8". He lies that he's a 6'10".
He has
That's right.
3 feet
That's how
off.
I remember it. He says he's a 6. He says he's 6'10", but he's really 6'8". But everyone has to help because other than Hellion, most people are not this big.
Yeah. I run up to Gully and I'm like, good run out there.
He's like, oh yes, you did very good. Next time I'll have to show you how to really do things.
I asked, can I have my goggles back now?
Oh yeah, here you go. And he just quickly tosses it to you while he's holding onto Nidhogg with the other hand.
I catch him. Thanks.
They smell of brains.
Ignore the little pink badger. You don't need it.
You sure?
I mean, it's too late now. I crushed it.
I
As you
run-
see, as the goggles are broken.
Well, shit. I kind of just toss him behind me and I run back over to Hellion. I'm like, I almost like, no, don't really sit down, but like compared to like how I normally stand, I kind of lean over and like, you talk?
No, we don't need to talk.
Believe me, I see shell shock. I've been in armies.
I'll walk over at this point as well.
You've been in armies.
I've been and I've led armies. I've seen.
I have been in winning wars. I have lost wars. I have died in wars, and I have been reborn in wars. Don't talk to me about what you've been through.
That's why I'm here to help. I don't know. I'm very new here to this world still. But I can tell there's something in you. And you might not accept it, and you might not be the most kind person. But there's heart in you. Well, without that bomb. But I've seen hell and back in my own way.
Quick save right there, little man. Stand up. Trouble's coming, okay? Whatever you were running from, this is worse. And it can creep into anyone's mind, and it can whisper any dark secret to get them to do what he wants you to do.
Well, how do we prep for it?
I'll let you know as soon as I discover, because my whole thing at this point has been to run away as far as possible. And now thanks to these, and I look at the chains, I look at the bomb, I can't do that anymore!
And while you do this, you feel that the chains are looser. They're not as tight on you, and they're not restricting your motion as much. And you feel as though you
Could run?
no, you feel like there's something about the way you fought in this round is different how you took it in the holographic chamber. Your intentions were definitely different, and you feel as though you are lighter because of it with those chains.
I don't really bring attention to that. They notice, like, for a minute I kind of look at them, but I don't really... Anyways, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm fucking tired.
Do you need help to learn how to fight this person?
Yeah, ask the science nerd about that.
I can do science and magic. I can try.
I know, you
something.
won't shut up about it.
Okay, well, it's gonna be useful for you, so you can hear
Well-
about it more if you'd like.
And Gotcha looks at Hellions like, yeah, I think we definitely need to work out what we're gonna do. And she leaves it at that.
I kind of look over to Hellion like, you know what? I can go for a nap or a drink.
Perfect. Well, let's head on out then, as Gotcha kind of starts to lead you, and we start heading out towards the main exit.
For the first time, I'm walking at a normal pace.
You're walking with everyone, exactly. The first time we're fully walking like a team, essentially. So we start walking to the hallway, and once we get there, Gotcha just explains, like, okay, well, yeah, so what do you guys want to do? I basically live here, so I don't got much to do, so if
Got a
anybody's
bar?
got an idea, oh, we got a bar.
I hate to break it to you, but I don't think you'll be able to get drunk anymore based off of your metabolism.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Just let me have this.
Okay.
Well, we won't know till we try. Let's go fucking drink.
You feel... It's not even a hand, because like a whole hand would probably hurt. You feel...
Your hand is the
You
size
feel my
of my
index
back.
and my middle finger kind of give you a slap on the back. And I go, if it's any consolation, my metabolism makes it almost impossible for me to get drunk.
Well, let's
Well, I
go
can
shout,
get
shout,
drunk.
buddy. I put my arm up to kind of fist bump him.
Alien looks at it, he curls up his big fist, and he goes, he's earned it. And tap.
Hell,
Perfect.
told you we were going to be friends.
So,
Everybody
yeah.
gets one. And that was yours.
I'll take it.
So yeah, at this point,
Fades to black.
you have the rest of the night. It's still, I would say it's like late afternoon in the third 10-hour block of life.
Oh yeah, that's right. Your weird hours on this planet.
30-hour days, 2 moons.
I just realized it's probably already been like 24 for me, so I'm exhausted.
Right.
That's why you're walking.
And
around.
everybody else is
Little
kind
face.
of normal. Like everybody's used to these long feeling hours. They're used to the days being this long. So yeah, everyone can kind of RP if they want to. If you want to head home, Hellion, I get that. Your guy would probably not want to do much other than hit
He
the
goes
bar,
back-
drink, and
Yeah.
then go to your room, most likely. You
Pretty
would
much
probably
what-
be antisocial.
Hellion probably reaches behind the bar. He just grabs like a handful of whatever, and then he just stomps off to what's been designated his room.
And as you essentially steal these bottles of booze,
Uh-huh.
the bartender looks like, hey, no, that's,
A look.
oh,
A look.
never mind. I'll just order more for next time. And he walks away to like an order sheet on the wall.
yell
It's
to the
like
bartender.
more booze and like big red light writing.
I look to the bartender like, hey, how do I open a tab?
Tab. Well, check your. What? You don't have an account?
I've never.
Where's your credits, bro?
What the fuck is a credit?
I'll take care of it. My family's rich. And I'll give them. I assume it's my. I'll open a
He
tab.
turns. My
Sure.
family's rich.
Turns
away.
And I will order the strongest alcohol that is possible, and just give it all to him and say, I want to see if you get drunk. Can you drink all of this?
Okay, so
I drink it all in.
You
like
spend
2
about,
seconds.
we'll say, 200 credits worth of alcohol right then and there, and you drink. You don't feel anything.
I take
You drink all
one
of
shot
it.
after another.
And you feel nothing, unfortunately.
How many shots was that?
Well, enough to kill a polar bear.
Maybe if you stop moving, it'll work better.
I am sitting. The only thing that is moving is my hands and my
I'll take
head.
his pulse. I'll check his pulse and
You'll
see
check
if it's
his
really
pulse.
fast.
I thought you were pointing at me at first. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even there.
I'm not even there. Yeah, if you check his pulse and it's like you can't even really tell. You couldn't even keep track if you tried to count it. It's moving so quickly.
Oh, well, you're out of luck. But
Well,
maybe we can find something that'll... You seem strict. You won't want to do drugs.
what's a drug?
What's a drug?
Is
Is that like opioids?
one of them. I'll spend the
Opioids
20
wouldn't
minutes.
make sense, but you'd be like, oh, you mean like slowdowns?
I'll spend like 20 minutes explaining how they work biochemically, and then I'll be like, that might actually work to slow down your heart. You won't fall asleep.
And then you're like, oh my god, I feel like I'm having a stroke. I want to have a hangover.
I just, you know what? We'll try that tomorrow. I take off and I realize I don't know where the fuck my room is. I come back. I ask Gotcha, hey, where's my room? Where are my quarters?
It's like, let me see your ID tag.
Do you see pockets on this fucking uniform?
She pulled it out from your the like thunderbolt on your thing as a piece of paper. Like comes out, it's like, yeah, you're on floor 5, room 302.
Thank you. I take off. Within a few minutes, I'm passed the fuck out.
All right.
Praying for a hangover.
Did masquerade do anything else?
I'll
Because
go
it's
to
just you and Gotcha at this point.
I'll go to my room, and before I go to bed, I'll check Grindr, and see if
Where is
if
Mortar?
he's-
It's Mortar.
Mortar. I'll check Mortar and see if he's nearby.
High-end Genald.
High
I
and
want to
gentle.
see if Ian Genels is there.
Yes.
The status hasn't changed at all, other than a bio that just says busy with a swords crossing emoji.
Roll a
it's both a sex joke and a
Yeah.
and a spoiler for later.
What would that check be?
Luck,
I would
probably.
say, let's do a. I want to make it a crazy number for fun. Let's make it
So you need
a.
a 15. If he's online.
We'll use a awareness check with your technology buff as well. So whatever your technology roll is.
So
I
that
can
would
roleplay
be plus
for
5.
high channels here if you need me to. I got approval from.
So that's 15.
15
Mm-hmm.
with your technology boost and everything.
I rolled a 5, and then that's plus 10 for both.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, you search, and you see a lot of choices. A lot of people with actual faces too, which is really nice and different for Mordor. You don't normally see that shit.
Everyone's so shy.
And it's actual like names, like they're not just hiding. But you still see that the unknown
Security guard.
tap from before is still there, and it looks like it got closer.
I will send a message.
What do you say?
Pics? No.
You get this giant schlong.
I'll ask, are you the security guard?
Can I do this? I have approval from the player, by the way, to play high channels. So if it is him,
So you send this message, and you see these bubbles pop up saying that somebody's trying to message, and then it stops. It starts again, and then it stops. And then you don't hear anything. As you now
Saw it.
feel that it may be him, but you may have just spooked somebody who is also a random security guard nearby. And he might be thinking like, oh fuck, this is one of those weirdos. They're gonna come get me.
you have a whole panic attack.
I'm like, did I creep him out? Was that too forward? I'll send a picture of my face. And be like,
The masquerade sends a picture of their face.
Without their mask on?
and be like, hopefully you are because you were cute, and I'll like have a, like a normal, not that I do this on Grindr, but I'll take a picture like that.
Okay.
For the audio viewers, he did a little anime peace
Kawaii,
sign over his eyes.
What?
He did very kawaii.
You want this bad, don't you? You send this face pic, and he sends a bunch of emojis. He doesn't want to reveal himself, but he sends a bunch of emojis. Some of them start to make sense, like it's hearts and little happy faces with like the blushy, and then you start seeing like a sword, a raccoon. You start seeing like random like ice cream, and then like a circle, and you're like, I don't like. You start losing track of what he's maybe trying to like cryptically try and tell you. But yeah, so he just sends you a bunch of emojis at this point. Still not trying to reveal, but he definitely was very happy.
I'll deal with this tomorrow, I guess.
You'll do it.
And I'll go to sleep.
Perfect.
And as we all fade to black, we all fall asleep.
I don't fall asleep.
Oh, as everyone falls asleep but Hellion, we cut up to what is normally the afternoon sky in this world. And then it fades to black and we all go the fuck home.
I just wanted to say that Helene is sitting in the corner and he's taking like the little tiny bottles compared to him. Like they look
Right.
like the little tiny
They
The
definitely
mini
look
bar
like
bottles.
right. You get the mini. They look like mini bar bottles in your hand, but they're actual fists.
And I'm just staring at one of the corners of my room. That's the darkest. And I stay like that for the rest of the night.
Perfect.
And
So
now-
yeah, I think
Now-
that.
And now the post-credit sequence where can we?
We see a man with black shoes walking down the hallway. And then he turns.
Hey, don't get me started. I got footstep sounds and a distant explosion.
Can I do something on behalf of the Merc, who might be here next week actually, for the post-credit scene?
Which, you know what, that would be great because it lines up perfectly when he will actually be reintroduced. That's why I don't want to give too many details right now on if he's actually there yet or not.
So you hear footsteps, some black boots on the ground. A phone falls, cracking. All that you see as the camera pans up, a man dressed in red cheap leather, a red mask that he lifts up. Oh shit! Is this my scene? Cut to black. Thank you all for joining us.
Yes, thank you everyone. It'll be fun to see how. I think we will have issues with the first portion of it because of the stream acting up, but I think almost everything else after. I think kind of Quinn's walk-in should be clear, unfortunately. We'll double check though.
I unfortunately have to say I will not be joining next week as I am going in for a surgery.
Best of luck to Hellion.
Yeah.
Everyone give him good luck.
If I'm able to play from abroad, then I definitely will, but we have to work on that.
Sure.
We have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, and I mean, I think next week, if we want to, like I said earlier, the acceptance process could be a little tedious.
Mm-hmm.
So we could RP a few days if we need to, and just kind of keep it light like that,
Mm-hmm.
and just have fun with that part before we jump into something a little more intense.
Okay.
I'd say this next.
And then that way,
campaign will
you
be
guys
fun.
can kind of build up what you would do on a day-to-day basis and kind of how you would function,
Right.
giving everybody some time to do side stuff.
Right. So this is the Heroes of Lost Fates signing out for this evening. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.
Cool. I'm just gonna think I'll do a post stream stuff, so I'll just stay on and put it on a wait screen.
Okay.